Do you know that in the United States, every 4 minutes somebody is diagnosed with a blood cancer? In the 2009 Leukemia Lymphoma Society's facts and statistics sheet, over 139,000 people were diagnosed with leukemia, lymphoma, or myeloma, which are blood cancers. So you're wondering why she's talking about cancer. Well, because your cells in your body, especially the red blood cells, carry oxygen throughout the body, and the white blood cells that help with infection, and your platelets, which help with clotting, become either very few, abnormal, or too many during chemotherapy or radiation therapy during cancer treatment. Also, your cells can become abnormal if you have an autoimmune disease such as lupus or another disorder such as sickle cell anemia, which the blood cells get very thick and sickle-like. So, so by a stem cell transplant, these might help cancers or disorders. So, what are stem cells and why are they important? According to an article on medicine.net on stem cell transplants, although unremarkable in appearance, stem cells can perform what is called biological resurrection, where they can constantly reproduce. Whereas other types of cells in your body can only reproduce so many times, they eventually do die. A stem cell can reproduce forever, and they can divide and change to many types of cells that our body needs. That's what's exciting about stem cell transplant. A stem cell transplant is a procedure where stem cells are put into your blood. Stem cells are found in the bone marrow, which is a spongy part of the tissue, and it's also found in blood and in the umbilical cord. Once stem cells are transplanted to the blood, they travel into the bone marrow and start growing into new cells. They can also turn into healthy cells that replace damaged cells, and they also decrease symptoms of your disease or also help cure your cancer. You may receive these stem cells either by yourself, a donor, or also an identical twin. What are the stem cells? Well, adult stem cell transplant, one of them is bone marrow cells. According to the Mayo Clinic issue of July 8th of this year, stem cell transplant is where the bone marrow, which is a spongy area in the bone, its main job is to make blood cells and to circulate in your body an immune cell to fight infection. It is the best known stem cell transplant today. Because of the bone marrow has a rich supply of the stem cells, and it's found mainly in the hip bones. The next type of stem cell transplant is peripheral blood. There are very few stem cells in the blood, but by drawing the blood, they can give it a growth factor to enhance its growth and it to stimulate and to go into the bone marrow to reproduce. The next one is an umbilical cord. Traditionally, umbilical cords from babies were considered medical waste, but they have found that they are very rich in stem cells, and because according to Learn Genetics of Utah and the March of Dimes, newborn infants no longer need their umbilical cords after birth, and traditionally they have been discarded. But like bone marrow, cord blood is very rich in blood-forming cells. These cells are not embryonic, they're not from embryos. Cord blood cells, stem cell transplants are less prone to rejection than either bone marrow or peripheral blood. This is probably because the cells have not developed the features that can be recognized and attacked by the recipient's immune system. Also because the umbilical cord lacks well-developed immune cells too. Bone marrow stem cell transplant is perhaps the best known stem cell therapy today. Peripheral blood cells transplant, even though few in the blood, that by giving them a growth hormone to boost the cells, it can be used like bone marrow to treat cancers and is less invasive. Umbilical cord stem transplant is rich in blood marrow stem cells and do not well-developed immune systems, because there is a less chance that the transplanted cells attack the recipient bodies. The gift of life is precious in becoming a bone marrow. You can save the life of a person or even yourself. Thank you. That's all.